Hey guys, it is T. Renee Smith here, business scalability strategist and author of The CEO Life. Welcome to your Tuesday's Think Like a CEO tip. Today is all about cash because cash is king. And during these uncertain times, I will say it often, this is not a time to panic, it is a time to prepare. So today we're going to talk about preparing your finances to be able to come out strong on the other side. So the very first thing that you need to do is you need to do a cash flow assessment. And that simply means looking at all of your personal expenses, all of your business expenses, and determining if you have enough cash to pay these over the next 3, 4 to 6 months. So when doing a cash flow assessment, you need to write down every single person that you owe personally. So all of your creditors, your mortgage, utilities, subscription programs, card notes, everything that you owe personally. Write down who you owe, how much you owe, when it's due. For your business expenses, you need to do exactly the same thing. Payroll, lease payments, subscription programs, etc. Write it down. So that's the first step. Then number 2, you need to look at how much cash flow do you have in reserves. And then you need to identify how long you can pay these expenses. And so if there is a shortage, then what you need to do is you need to start making phone calls to the creditors or whoever you owe and ask them what options are they providing or what programs do they have for assistance during this whole coronavirus pandemic. So that's number 1. Number 2, you need to look at what are your revenue opportunities. What clients do you have? Are they still paying? Are they still paying on time? Are these contracts going to continue? So if there is some shortage, again, with the contracts and them paying on time, find out what modifications you can make. Can they pay you early? If they've extended your terms, are there other companies out there that will pay you in advance? I know that during regular times, Capital One as well as Chase Bank had programs that they were called intermediate financing programs for small businesses, where if your terms were 120 to 180 days, then they would actually advance you the money for a small percentage. So it's kind of like invoice finances. Another company that does that is the Now account, which I've talked about them before. So the second thing that you need to do is to look at your incoming revenues to determine how much cash you're going to have on hand. And then number 3, you have to look at what programs are available. So number 1, look at the stimulus package. Do you and your family qualify as far as revenue amounts? If you do qualify, make sure that you file taxes for 2019 or 2018. If you did not file taxes, you need to go ahead and file it because that's how they're going to identify who will receive the funds. Number 2, I look under the CARES Act, the Small Business Disaster Recovery, and see if you qualify for a loan. One loan is the Paycheck Protection Loan, which that is aimed at retaining payroll. So if you have payroll expenses and other expenses, you may be able to qualify for that loan. They're being less stringent with credit requirements due to the pandemic. And if you follow the terms, then some of those loans can be forgiven and it will be a grant. So look to see what the government is offering. Additionally, you have several corporations out there that are offering support as well. Facebook, they announced that they're going to have a grant, and it's going to be a cash grant as well as a grant towards Facebook credit. So look and see if you qualify. They haven't released the specific terms, but I wanted to make sure that it was on your radar. So 3 things you need to do. Number 1, assess your cash. Number 2, look at where your revenues are coming in. And then number 3, look at assistance that is available. So after you go through this process, if you need help and identifying what's the next best step for your business, what gaps do you have, and how can you pivot your business during this time, then download my free assessment at theceo.life or click in the link in my bio to receive a step-by-step assessment of where you are, what gaps do you have in your business, and what do you need to do to come out strong on the other side. So your challenge for the week is get busy, assess your cash flow, make sure that you create a reserves for yourself, and download that free business assessment at the CEO Life. Bye-bye. See you next week.